Awesome. Hello. I'd like to call to order today's Town of Selma Special Tourism Advisory Board meeting for Thursday, December 19th. Good morning. Okay, can I get a approval of the agenda? Mr. Oh my God, Dalton sent out the agenda the other night. Or was yeah, it was the agenda. Late at night. He did a great job doing
I
sending
make a
that
motion
over.
to approve the agenda.
Awesome, thank you. Perfect. And approval of minutes. Do we have minutes? Okay. Perfect. Awesome, thank you. We talk a lot, so I can only imagine how many minutes you have to get up on. All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna hop into Johnson County Visitors Bureau report.
Good morning, Donna.
Hello.
Okay, so Dalton's passing around the budget that we're working off of right this moment, and there's been some changes with the livability ad and some discussion that I'd like to have with this committee on requesting additional funds for social media and a Google campaign. So we were given a budget of $3,000 for Google and Facebook. And the last time I added everything up, we were at 2,200. But that wouldn't include our December expenses.
Okay.
So I've had my staff just put a hold on our Facebook ad that was running. It was, Discover or Get to Know Selma was a carousel we were running, and it was just driving traffic to the visitselma.org website. It was driving about 3,500, 4,000 clicks a month. So it's a good thing to keep driving people to that website to discover what we're trying to get visitors to come see. So at this point, I'm requesting $300 a month for continuing our carousel ad and $300 a month for launching a Google ad campaign, which would be a Performance Max. And both of those would run at like $10 a day. That's how I came up with the $300 per each. So,
And just for clarification for everybody else, this is for budget from July to July.
this is from January to June,
January.
the rest of this
Okay.
fiscal year,
Okay.
to continue to do marketing, digital and social.
But yes, so the 3,000 though that we budgeted though is for July to July. So we're almost at,
We're almost out. It was
Yes,
July to
okay.
June. And there's a $2,000 line item there that is for town council social media. So I was asking Nikki to clarify what that is, because we're not spending that line item, as far as I know, with the Visitors Bureau.
okay.
As to if we could take that 2,000 to use towards more of the Facebook and just take, it was initially separated before I came aboard, I believe, into something. So it's not being touched, and I think that it could be utilized in the same manner that they're utilizing the other Facebook, charges and stuff. So we can, if we get clarification from council that there is no specific need for this, if the committee wants to make a recommendation to council to use the 2,000 towards the other Facebook ads, then they can do that further.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, I specifically remember us having this conversation about the 2,000 for the town was for the town to highlight businesses and stuff downtown. So that would be, I remember this conversation. So yeah, if we haven't used it, then we should definitely be putting it.
Absolutely go
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's good numbers, the clicks that are driving to the
Yeah.
Visit Selma.
yeah.
The other line item that needs to be discussed is the visitor's guide that we're working on. Eric's got a price right at $4,000 to print 10,000 of those visitors guides. I put in 4,500 because there'll be, taxes and probably some shipping.
Okay.
Just rounded it up to cover any additional charges for that. And that's in design. Right now, I showed you, I folded out
Yep.
the visitor's guide was it last week? Did we just meet last
Yes.
week?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then we're gonna request some information or some direction from you on the Our State ad that's due February the 7th. It will run in the April edition of Our State. So we would like to have your photo selections and theme of what you want us to design for Selma.
Awesome. And you said you want that by,
We need that soon because you're
Okay.
going to have a January meeting, I guess,
Mhm.
to recommend the design to town council, and town council's going to have to approve it.
okay,
So we're 2 weeks away from the new year,
yeah,
basically, and everybody's, going on vacation for the holidays.
yeah.
So
When is that council meeting?
This is, the our state content.
Yep.
Discussion is one of our.
Okay,
The council, it will, we do not have to have approval from council for the design.
okay,
The committee can provide a consensus today for the content for that ad.
okay,
And Eric and Mr. Sparrow can work on the design for that and bring it back to the special board meeting in January. And then as if it's approved by committee, then it can go to our state before the deadline.
okay,
okay,
Sounds
okay, because last
Sounds
time we
good.
had to have town council approve it.
cool. All right,
I think and then any other questions or comments I just put on this budget so you could look at where some of these projects are. And that's pretty much what I have. Do you have any questions for the Visitors Bureau?
so. Appreciate you
Okay.
very much. Thank you. Thank you. Do we need to make, a motion to,
If you'd like to, once we receive clarification, is that what you're talking
no, to take the, oh, okay, yeah, for yeah, yeah,
about?
okay,
If you'd like to, I don't think it would hurt.
yes,
So it's not, you can use that 2,000.
yeah,
The town has been paid for specific events to be used,
Mhm.
not been asking for reimbursement.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe that was part of that
Mhm.
initial discussion as well. But if we can get clarification from that, so we need a certain amount, you said 300.
300 a month would let us maintain the $10 a day.
So.
Mhm. Yeah.
So we could, if the committee would prefer to go and make the recommendation to council that use that money in the same manner that they will use the remaining council.
Yeah.
Then that would.
Let's do that.
yeah, let's do that, so it's already done. All right, so a motion to, I guess, reallocate that 2,000 from the Town of Selma Facebook, to the Johnston County Visitors Bureau. Motion to approve,
I make that
This
motion.
would be a
or motion to
recommendation.
recommend.
Recommendation.
Yes,
Make a recommendation. for
First.
2,000.
I second.
perfect.
So that would take us taking that recommendation. And then take that recommendation as well as the redesign on that. Last week to council in January.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay. Marketing materials.
So this is where we're gonna discuss the our state ad content.
Okay.
I know there have been some discussions in the past, I know you've said previously the Red Days, 0.6 ad for that, festival. This one will be published in the April issue of the our state ad, so, I think somebody had discussed it in the past about it being maybe just like a spring shop in Selma, like some pretty landscape photo of something here, but, as a committee, your consensus and suggestions for ideas for that specific ad, is kind of what we need to come to today, so that the Visitors Bureau can work on that.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
I'd like,
thinking on that. I'm trying to think of what would be. I feel like we do shop and dine all the time, but if it
Yeah.
works, if it's, what are the events? We have nothing big coming up, nothing. Okay.
Not that I would see going into the our state.
Donna, what would you recommend? Should we start trying to blow up this 50th anniversary Railroad Days? Reserve the date? I'm just throwing things out there. Like,
Because it's big enough that you want to put your ad money into Railroad Days. The only other big celebration this year, All-American Day.
mhm.
Keep in if you want to stay, yes.
I don't think that's a bad idea, though. I think I'd like to put the money into Railroad Days with everything that we have lined up after this conversation. I mean, I think that's a great way to, like, a save the date.
Save the weekend.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Save the dates.
That's a whole nother
7 days.
conversation.
Save the week.
Save the week.
Yeah, the 29th through the 5th.
I mean, and we need anything that we can to try to make this as big as possible, and if people see that and say, hey, it
Yeah.
is the 50th, I don't,
Mhm.
We can't, there's nothing to say that we have to stick to the 1/6 ads for our state. And considering the livability costs for the ads, also, it doesn't seem like it's that much different than our state size, same size.
Mhm.
So if we wanted to do a bigger page out in our state for the days for the September issue, that actually might be an option. It's whatever committee wants to do and where to put that money from, but that gives us an option to ask for that in our upcoming budget.
we've already committed to the livability though, right?
Well, this would be for the next year.
Okay, for the following year, okay.
for next budget year, but my concern would be spending that amount of money just a couple weeks before Railroad Days.
Might be too
Spend
late.
4,500, that's, I feel like we could put 4,500 into
late.
something else.
More digital
Further,
maybe.
yeah, yeah. I mean, what's on the other side? Like so if we didn't do a Railroad Days and we did a spring theme, I mean,
The our state ad is actually not budgeted out of our days.
yeah,
It's actually like the two ads are separate in their budget. Right.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. And what are you guys thinking? Railroad Days or spring?
I'd say railroad days.
Albert?
A little bit of both. Can we do a little bit of both?
Pictures of the caboose with the dogwood trees.
And that's
Yeah.
springy,
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
me
Yeah.
too.
Or even to take the train, just something train related.
With spring effect.
I remember that picture with the dogwood.
The
That would be
cherry
perfect.
trees.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're starting to die,
Yeah.
we need to do something about those poor babies. I walk by
Yeah.
there every day.
Yeah,
Nikki took
yeah.
that picture. It was good.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
They're, I always think of DC when I go back there, when the cherries are, well,
Yeah, we love that picture. That's a great.
Yeah, that's literally it. Is this what you were thinking?
Yeah.
You have like, what do they call it? ESPN? No. What is it? ESPN?
ESPN.
I think that looks absolutely terrific. I'll pass it down to them.
The dogwood trees, spring. Spring and fall.
It's like she like, I don't know, has done this for how many years?
Yeah, I think she's done this before.
Yeah.
If it's not, don't fix it.
Yeah, right, right.
That's a great pick, I like it.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Well, that was easy.
What?
It's beautiful.
That was.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I mean,
Motion.
it says Shop, Dine, Explore with a QR code on it.
That's spring. That's real nice. It could be spring into Selma.
Ooh, I like that.
I like that. Yeah.
And fall. into
And then
Selma.
that QR code brings them where? To the, okay.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's good. Cool.
Do you wanna see it with the spring?
I mean, if we just, can we just notate that and then have it? Cool.
But
Yeah.
it's very cool. That was easy.
Okay, cool. A motion to approve with the change of the verbiage from spring in to spring into Selma. Motion approved.
I make the motion.
First and a second.
I second.
Perfect. Thank you, Donna. That was perfect.
Yes.
All right,
All the
we-
easy stuff's done now.
are we getting into it now?
Yes.
Okay, we're getting into it.
Do you want the, like a breakdown or?
Yeah.
Before we get into this, I have a couple of.
I'm sorry? Nope, nope.
No, we love you. You can leave now. Just
Cleanse your mind
Thank you, Donna.
of what's about to take place. Thank you.
This is our railroad days.
Yes, yeah, this is
Well, I
the
have a
thick of it.
couple of questions before we
Okay.
start this.
Yeah.
I went through
Please
your,
do.
information that you gave us the last time.
Yes.
So I went over.
Thank
and
you,
I
Miss
just-
Donna.
Thanks.
Merry Christmas. Take care.
Merry Christmas. I just have a couple of questions for clarity for me.
Yes,
For me.
yes.
On the very first line, my first question.
We're reviewing
Would you-
what I sent out the
Yeah,
other day for you
the
guys, just so you
information that you
guys
put out the
understand,
last time.
know where we're at. Okay.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions.
Yeah,
The very first line, tourism mix monthly, that's a no. But this is my question.
yes.
Months
alternate between general tourism responsibilities and railroad coordination, 50-50 meeting and 100% railroad days.
Yes.
So my question there is, last year when we took on the helping with the railroad days, they had a committee.
Yep.
Is that committee still intact?
It's not intact. We are the
So
committee.
we are officially the
Yes.
railroad days committee?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so now, when you say 50-50 meetings.
Yes.
So how is that done?
So half of it is going to be for like when we're talking about wayfinding and our state magazine livability, we will talk about our general tourism duties. And then the other half of that meeting will be circling back to Railroad Day, probably confirming some things that we had the previous month. And then the next month will be all railroad days because there's so much information that we have coming down the pipeline. We have to speak about it monthly. And us speaking about it monthly is still myself and Nikki meeting. I mean, we've already met 2 times this week to try to get some of this information rolled out and put into spreadsheets for everybody to see in a more organized way. So there's a lot of information, and I think us going into the 50th, the more meetings that we have without being ridiculous, I think 1 a month, it is a big ask, obviously, because we are a volunteer committee, and I understand that. But I think if we're gonna do it, then we need to do it well, and if we don't wanna do it, if there's people that, I'm being frank, if there's people that just don't wanna do it, then you don't have to be a part of it. Like, and I don't mean that towards you, I'm just saying it's like out in general,
Clarity, that's
you know what I
clarity.
mean? Yeah, exactly,
And because
exactly.
I do want to understand, because when I sign, now, I don't have any problems, but I just like to know
Of course,
everything that's going on
Yes.
and what I'm entitled to do.
Yes.
Because whatever I do, I'm gonna do it 100%.
100%,
But you
exactly.
can't do anything if you don't know
exactly, yep,
what's expected. So
Exactly.
that was one of my questions. My
Exactly.
next question is, since we don't have the committee that was in place
Yes.
the last time, Nikki have given us these sheets for the layout of the 5 days.
Yep, yep.
So is this still in play, or we're gonna start from scratch?
we're gonna start from scratch, and you will see that in what was just passed out.
Okay.
We've started that already.
Okay, so I think,
And are you referring to the Railroad Days Committee from 2 years ago?
no, this is what she passed off of the 50th.
Yes, but yes, this, we've changed this, it's in here now, but the Railroad Days Committee that you were speaking about, are you talking about the one from 2 years ago? Because we were it last year ago.
Yeah, we were at that.
You saying that there was no committee?
No,
How's that?
no, so it was just us last year.
Oh,
So
okay.
that we have essentially one under our belt, and then now, I think we
Now
know
we get the
going-
big one.
Yeah, now we know, I think we can collectively
Yeah.
say going into this, that meeting every other month like we were last year, or calling all of these special meetings, it is a hassle, it's a lot going through people's schedules and stuff, where if we were just scheduling these monthly, we know what's going into it, we know
have any
the
problems with
homework
that.
that takes to go into it, I think we're gonna have a far better Railroad Days this year.
I don't have any problems with that. Like I said, the reason for the questions
Of
was
course,
so
yeah.
I would know and understand
Of course,
where we're going, what we're doing. and how
exactly,
we're
and
doing it.
what we
exactly,
need to
yep,
put
yep,
into it.
100%, 100%.
Cause this is,
Okay.
it's a big undertaking,
Yeah.
so
Huge.
let's just be
Yeah.
honest here
Yep.
at the committee.
It is very huge, it's a
And
lot,
so, I'll be here until I'm here.
okay, I like it.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. All right, ready to roll? Okay. So in our lovely packet that Nikki has ever so wonderfully laid out all of the information that we have put together. We put this together in the sense that way you guys can see it day by day. All of the days have a little ring to them on like the title of the day. You guys can see the times that we're gonna do it and what we have laid out so far at the bottom. This is not set in stone. This is just what we have so far as like preliminary. Just for all of us that are super excited about all of these show things and all the stuff from Gig Salad. None of that is in here yet until we figure out what we want to do and costs and stuff like that. We also have a preliminary budget that we will be going over shortly as well. So you guys can see some of those numbers because they are big, obviously, compared to last year. Okay, so let's start with Monday. We have Mingle on Main. It is going to be completely revolving around our downtown small businesses. And we are also going to invite other businesses within Selma to come and set up shop downtown. So people that are coming in can get to know all of our businesses that we have in Selma and all the different things that we have to offer. We are also looking at doing a fall wine walk. Now, we are fully aware that having it on a Monday is different, but when you're looking at the days that we have available to do it, it's obviously not going to be done on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Those are our main days of our event. And then as we're going through this, you will see we are having Worship Wednesday, so obviously we're not having a wine walk. Thursday, we're doing Thriller Thursday. And Tuesday, we're doing a kind of like a throwback Tuesday, like a timeless Tuesday. So we feel as though Monday is the day, if we're gonna do a wine walk, it would be Monday. We're gonna do commemorative 50th Railroad Days etched wine glasses that they will get as part of the experience. We obviously, the entire week that we're doing this really only works if our businesses stay open. So we need to really encourage our downtown businesses to stay open till 9 o'clock. I don't think it's gonna be a hard feat to ask that.
And to open on Monday
yes,
and Tuesdays.
yes,
A lot of, now,
yes.
people are closed Monday and Tuesdays.
Yes, to stay open on those days. And then we are going to have different activities and displays at the depot. So to bring it back, our whole thought process is from the depot to downtown, because we want, if we remember our past, for the years that I've been here, the past 4 years, everything is downtown, which in a sense is great for our downtown community, but we're missing the whole point of Railroad Days, which is the railroad and our depot, so we really want people to check out our depot to have more of the train experience. So the way that we do that is we obviously bring it from the depot down Railroad and then down South Rayford and up North Rayford. We're talking about having school bands in groups along as you're, in different little sections, as we were kind of talking about like sideshow things. We would have different school groups performing, doing their little thing in different areas downtown. So as you're walking through the entire festival, this is the theme. You are completely engulfed in the experience. It's not, there's just cool stuff going on at the depot. As we're going through, you guys are gonna see there's a lot of stuff at the depot this year. So that really the challenge is to get the cool stuff downtown. But it's kind of beneficial in the sense where we have cool stuff downtown and it's not such crazy things in front of all of our businesses where people can't see our businesses that we have. Sometimes I've seen in the past that we have different vendors that are blocking the view of our businesses, or we have different things set up which just block the view of our businesses downtown. And we're gonna have a caboose open, and we're gonna have the trackless train, which is going to bring them from the depot downtown. It's a really cool little train. It fits 18, I believe, 18 or 24.
So, and it's adults.
Yes, adults.
Are you
and
doing the
kids.
Raglan one or the?
It is Raglan,
The
right?
one that we have for the
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
Yep. And he does have, depending on the road, he does have a extra coal car, as long as the road is flat, which can bring an additional 24 people. So there's an ability to be able to shuttle a lot of people around, which I think is pretty good. All right, so that's Monday. Do we have any questions on Monday? We're gonna come back. I know that there's a lot
Yes,
going on.
I have a question
Yes.
about the fall wine walk.
Yes,
The town of Selma's doing one on April 25th.
yes.
So, is this gonna be paid for? Are you gonna have to buy a ticket for this wine walk event?
Yes, we were talking about doing it through Hinnant, well, pairing with Hinnant again for that one as well.
And it could look different than just a one walk. It could be something, that would be something that the committee could come up with as far as the direction for that. But I know looking at maybe like the mold cider, mold wine,
Yeah.
different things
Well,
like that. So
yeah,
we've got-
okay, I have my first meeting with Ashley January 7th with the committee.
And I have reached out to, just ask Ashley real quickly if they would consider that, because I know that had been mentioned, by several people. And I don't know that this would be an annual thing, but to be a special 50th Railroad Days, event as a celebration, it's definitely something that
Okay, well, that will coincide, that'll be easy because I'll already have most of it done for April, with all the businesses.
Right,
and
right,
I'm
yeah.
pretty
That's
good.
why you're in charge.
Put the bug,
I mean, I didn't tell you, but that's.
then put the bug in there
Yeah,
for
yeah,
fall.
yeah.
Okay.
We think it aligns
I
well
am
with
concerned
the,
about the Monday. I know that we have to figure it out. I mean, Monday's the tricky thing on
I
the
know.
wine walk, and I could see where you're looking through and.
yeah,
I mean, maybe on Thriller Thursday, I don't know. It's just you don't want it to be a dud. It's the
Yeah.
only thing I'm concerned
I
about.
know.
I mean, we
You don't
we were
want to start
talking
out the
about
week.
preliminary numbers, and we were talking about even if we got 40 or 50 people to come to it, it's still bringing people downtown for the event.
That's right.
And I guess our concern is we want to spread the love between the days, where if we have a lot of, awesome things all in one day, then that leaves other things. Like what else would we, okay, so if we didn't want to do a Monday, what else are we going to do on Monday? On that.
I like
other-
I mean,
another-
I like the mingle. I mean, and if that gets you around, that's fine too.
Yeah.
I was also thinking about like some kind of scavenger hunt or something that makes you go around town
Yeah.
and, you know,
So we were-
punch cards and something fun and
Yes.
interactive.
So we were talking about a scavenger hunt later in the week, and you would get a commemorative something.
Okay, that's,
Um,
that would be fun for
Yes,
everybody.
yes, yep, we have that
Actually,
further
we
on.
have to work with our Tuesday
Yes, yes,
in businesses, and that's really what is if we bring them downtown, how do we get them to see what's here?
yes.
So
Yep.
That's a great idea on Timeless Tuesday, to
Yes.
do that, so you
can't
have to
wait.
find that little thing.
Tuesday is so cool. I cannot wait for us to go over Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay.
So we can digest this and come back
Yes,
with the
100%.
ideas? 'Cause-
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
100%.
I have a question. So
Yes.
your only concern about Monday is the wine walk?
Yeah, I mean, I like the mingle. I like how the whole vibe of that. I just was concerned if you printed a bunch of glasses
Mm-hmm.
and we were stuck with the cost of that. That's,
Classes could also be used for other businesses.
Yeah.
we could sell them too.
Yeah.
We could sell them.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
give
right.
away,
Good idea.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
what my concern was more being stuck with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we good with Monday? Okay, let's move on to Tuesday. Timeless Tuesday. Okay, I'm loving this one, you guys. Okay, so we had a thought of bringing all of the 45 years of the pageant queens back, as many as we could possibly get for the entire 45 years that they have been a part of Railroad Days. So then we do a presentation at the Rudy. They're in their outfits, they're doing their thing, but corresponding with the year, okay? We do a quick blurb presentation per the year of what was going on in Selma in that year. So we talk about the history of Selma, downtown, the train station, different things. And so you know how like this big thing now for birthday parties, you can type in your kid's year and they send you a piece of like a thing that you hang in the background, and it was everything. It was like the gas prices that year, that whole thing. We thought it would be super cool. You're in the Rudy, you get in there, you have a ticket into the Rudy, and you're watching this really cool presentation of like essentially the history of Selma. So and it goes by the year, and you get to see the pageant queen that went with that year. Then we were talking about, were we still keeping, I think, did we move Allison off of that day?
I think we moved Allison, we were gonna have the band. We
Yes.
could possibly still have Allison.
Yes.
And some of that, but we were gonna have the band as well.
We're gonna have Triple S, some of the bands from over there, but playing like timeless music, not in the sense of like you know, modern.
Well, they have
music.
jazz bands too, so get
Exactly,
the jazz band to come in.
exactly.
And one of our current queens, it's a different part.
Yes. And her name's Jenna, right? Miss Jenna, who now works for the town, she is a previous pageant queen. So I know she is tasked with getting some of this together. Okay, so then we were talking about different things that bring different types of people downtown, right? Different events that appeal to more people than just people that live here. So, excuse me, we were talking about having a pickleball tournament at Harrison and Edgebrook. We were talking about Tuesday and Thursday with the tournament happening on Saturday. So we bring different people that play pickleball and all that other stuff. We picked pickleball over anything else because we obviously have a brand new pickleball court, so why not showcase it? Same thing as Monday, we're gonna have the downtown kids inflatables and games and stuff like that. We're gonna have the commemorative items inside the business, where you can take your ticket from the Rudy show with the pageant queens, and you can get a commemorative something downtown. But we were also talking about doing possibly a scavenger hunt to get people in the businesses and however that would look. Same thing as Monday, the trackless train from the depot to downtown with the activities set up. We were talking about doing music downtown, but we were talking about on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday having music playing. So that way, the problem is if we have live music, then we're taking people away from doing the events and going into the businesses, which is really what our focus is. So we were talking about having music playing. So if we can step back for 2 seconds and have this quick conversation. We were talking about how do we get the music to play everywhere downtown, which is something that we were talking about would be good for downtown in general.
Yes, it would be.
So we are going to put it into our budget, hopefully, if you guys are okay with it. We need to all discuss this. Having a sound system done downtown. And if we did this in our budget for this year coming up, then we would be able to, it obviously takes place in July, we'd be able to obviously have it done before Railroad Days, which means we'd be able to have this immersive music playing downtown, instead of just having our speakers. You know, Jeff is great when he does the speaker, but we all get to hear it on our end. I know South Rayford, they don't ever really get to enjoy that side of hearing the music and stuff. So if we were to be able to put that through, then we'd be able to have this music playing, obviously, corresponding to whatever the theme is that night.
Now,
Okay.
would that stay permanently?
It is, it would be
Something
for
like-
downtown,
Like
yep,
Goldsboro has?
exactly,
Yes.
exactly, yep, it would be a
They're
downtown sound
nice.
system, it
Those
would be
they're
awesome.
so nice.
Yes, it would be really great.
I'm anxious to see what the cost
Cost
but
is-
they are
yeah.
super nice.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so then we're talking about the caboose being open, and then we were also talking about doing an art show. I know that we wanted to see if HDR would host for the art show. That was our conversation.
Possibly, or run
Yes.
it through, Summit Depot. Summit
Yes.
Let's do an art contest with a railroad theme. So whatever the 50th,
How cool would that
we
be?
come up with a,
You like task it for
Yeah.
Triple S or something
Or
like that,
anybody.
or
I think we could do all
Anybody.
three
Yeah.
schools,
Yes.
And have them all, and that would bring
the families,
parents.
exactly, yep, yep.
and just have it focused on railroad days and whatever their interpretation of it is.
Yes,
That'd be great.
interpretation.
And I know that these meetings are gonna go long, but it is my goal at some point to get which I've got an email drafted to everybody, which is a train garden in like Gibsonville, North Carolina. I mean, we got to have when they're outside, they're these, the size H trains. I'll talk to the train people, maybe I can get them engaged, even if we had a small one set up in the art out loud park, something to really, that we can build on.
Yeah, yeah,
We need this in general. We're talking
I
about
agree.
people come to that Gibsonville one all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Tar
time.
Heel Traveler had a nice segment about the Wilmington.
Train garden.
Train garden
Mhm.
last night.
So I'm just, oh, really?
Yeah,
I'll
it
have to
was
look at-
cool.
So it's just something that as the Visitor Bureau, we need something in this town that people are going to stop for. We're
Yeah,
on 95.
yeah.
We have, I mean, I don't care if it's a big clothespin. I don't care if it is.
Yes.
It needs to be something.
something, yeah,
Something
yeah.
that you wanna
Like a
take a
large
picture
tourist
with and you
attraction.
want to
Yes,
stop.
yes, I agree.
I mean,
agree.
just because we're a stone's throw from 95, we could get these weird roadside attractions people are into.
They are.
I
they
mean, they're
are,
strange.
They are.
I-
Main Street America.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina, one place to do the world's largest teapot. and
Right.
That's all you need.
Middle.
Yeah,
great
yeah.
thing, like, and so it gets to be something like.
We should start thinking about that, guys.
I
Like,
have
put on
been.
your
I want
thinking hats and.
me and Larry keep talking to my husband about maybe it needs to be train related. What we can have the world's largest, I don't know, train thingy.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. But we need to do something to really make people want to stop. Come on, you know that
I
train
love
thingy.
it. I love it.
I
I
just
love
have
it.
one question.
Yeah.
So you say 5 to 9. So
Yeah.
for instance, the presentation at the Rudy, I think that's really cool. Like when would that begin? Is it gonna be like,
It'd be an hour and a half, we're thinking at,
Okay.
at most. So that would still give people time to start. I think we said we'd either start at 5 or 5:30, so going to 6:30 or 7. And then when they get out, that would give them the time to go in
Yep.
and go into the
another 2
businesses and
hours
stuff.
to do what
Exactly.
you wanted to do?
Yep.
Could we get the
Okay.
Rudy to try to in kind donate?
I've reached out to them. Maybe if that, they help us with the pageant.
Yeah.
Okay. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I have another question.
Yes.
I have a question also about the presentation at Rudy.
Yes.
Would that be ticketed? Would there be a cost?
It is
for
going
that?
to be ticketed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We haven't decided, obviously, price or anything like that. A small,
I think it'll determine how much the.
yeah.
And like, I'd like to also, if we're gonna do video that, we could have it running somewhere outside so people who don't get to go on Tuesday can see the,
I think afterwards, I think it'd be a cool thing.
for the rest of the week, if we
Yeah.
can run it on a loop somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's, I think the presentation, if it is done well with terrific content, I think it is going to be something that we
Yeah.
have for a long time playing in a lot of different places.
That's great.
I think it's really, really cool, the thought of like going through the past 45 years of Selma with like a
50.
visual. Yeah, like it's
If we
just
get
gonna
this
be,
started now, Eric, I mean, we need to use Eric.
yeah, yeah,
These are our resources that we need to use.
Yeah.
And if we get him the content, he's from
Yeah.
Visitors
Yeah.
Bureau, he'll start something.
yeah.
And we want to keep in mind too, it's a lot of people, railroad days, I've been here for 50 years. That was a major highlight of Selma. And so this being the 50th, a lot of our children are grown and gone, got children that has never come back to some of these events. And so with this one, we're hoping we get good publicity and try to encourage people, families, to bring their
Yes.
families back
Yes,
to
yes.
Selma, as well as the tourists.
Yes.
Why don't we have a set up area where people could bring their families and take some photos?
That'd be awesome.
Mhm.
I
That'd be
mean,
really
you know,
cool.
some kind of
Family
kind of
photo op
booth,
area.
whatever, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
and
you
can
might
force them.
want to ask for people to bring or get a photos of the past events that they have with their family, post them
We could do a submission
Post 'em up.
online for that.
I love that.
That'd be really cool.
That would be.
People would be
Yeah.
very
That
interactive on
would
that.
build
Yeah.
on that,
Yeah.
your-
Because then they're gonna wanna come, because they're gonna wanna see
See
their
their
picture
picture.
out there. And they'll be
Yeah.
like, that's us, like
That's-
that's a
I
great
love
idea,
that.
Albert, that's a great idea.
Even the,
Yep.
this school, the Selma Middle School, a lot of kids were in there, on the football team during that time. They were, riding on trucks and the cheerleaders and all those kids are grown and gone and got kids.
Yeah.
They would love to come back and see not only, that, but how Selma has grown.
Yeah.
Because when I bought my family for my birthday, they were amazed.
Yeah,
I
it's so
remember you said
different.
that. It's just so cool
Yeah,
to
that
hear.
was like 6 months
So-
ago, like
April.
April, yeah.
So we should try to really market, I guess people are not gonna come home on a Tuesday, like your kids, if they're from Raleigh or whatever. Just try to maybe market a little bit of that on the weekend, like try to bring your families, have that in our marketing
weekend.
plan.
I'm sure we
Get
could
the
have
plan,
that.
you know, get everybody back together, the family, you know.
It's somewhere that we have it set up to where
I literally just
Yep.
gonna say that. Yeah, have it playing again on the weekend, like or over the rest of the week on a continuous loop somewhere. That'd be so cool. That'd be awesome.
it.
Okay, cool.
All right, so where are we now? I'm sorry.
We're on Wednesday, Worship Wednesday. So this is a way that we can invite our 40 churches that we have in Selma. We're gonna invite them, we're hoping to, what you guys think, to invite them downtown to host church Wednesday night downtown.
Love it.
What, an interfaith?
Yes, yep, like everywhere. We just have everybody set up in different areas downtown. It'd be a great way to just bring everyone together, like all of our entire community, people from every background, from every religion. We think it'd be really, really cool to just have everyone meet downtown.
I would use the community stage and then have each one of them do their own little spiel, like an interfaith service.
I like that.
we were talking about doing a downtown staging area for gospel groups, choir groups.
Okay.
Whatever groups were interested that wanted to perform, and then possibly having a, group perform at the main stage area.
Yes.
So Wednesday does make a transition to where the
Yep.
transition happens to the depot.
Okay.
And the amusement rides kick up.
So we have the carnival will officially begin on Wednesday. That'll be down at the depot in front of, you know, where the big old logging place was. That's where that's gonna be. The main stage will open up. And we'll obviously have the trackless train rides to and from, and then the caboose is open. But really, there's not a lot of other things going on because it is a faith-based evening. And I don't think we need all the other things going on. Obviously, it's not anything liquor related or, you know. Is there anything else that you guys would like to see downtown?
Well, I think the whole way, if we're doing anything down at the caboose or down at the depot, every night we need to have something set up the entire way, no matter what it is, maybe vendors or something, but you gotta have, it's a 2-3 block walk.
Yeah.
Inviting those churches and organizations to set up an info.
Perfect.
Yes.
But along the whole track, Railroad Street is where
Yeah.
I would suggest it.
We can have food trucks on that street as well, but still having that traffic strength to have that ride and still be a
Yep.
connection. But yes, inviting them out to be able to pass out information, meet the community, you know, that kind of thing. But have them essentially, instead of vendors, have them set up to be able to share their.
And that's on the connecting route to, that's what.
On Railroad
Yes,
Street.
yep,
Okay. That's the
exactly.
whole thing. I think that if we're focusing on the depot, which
Yeah.
we should,
Yep,
then you have to have inviting stuff all the way down Railroad Street.
yep.
And can we use the land there? Do we have to ask CXX to set up on that?
What are you thinking about?
Across from, right here, just
The
right.
grass area.
Yeah, the grass, that grass area along the tracks, not where, the old Michener's is, across the street going down to the depot.
Not necessarily on the street, but in the grass next to it. Like,
The
yeah,
railroad street.
yeah.
As far as we have used it in the past for different things, we've had food trucks and stuff set up out there. so,
Okay. Just want to make sure,
And
because
there's
we need
nice
to.
sidewalks the whole way.
There are sidewalks.
Yeah.
all right. It's
I
beautiful.
walk it all the time.
Yeah.
And we did talk about, but last week when I was talking to you guys about food trucks and stuff like that, the need for tables and chairs and resting areas. And that is something that is going to be set up. There's going to be lots of different places for people to sit with chairs. We did talk about, last week, like sunshades and umbrellas and stuff like that. So people can actually, obviously this is at night, we're talking about towards the weekend, but so that way people can actually sit down and enjoy eating their lunch and not sweat to death in the North Carolina heat. But we're looking at probably 2 food trucks downtown with tables and chairs. We still want people to frequent obviously our downtown businesses and stuff like that. Hopefully, we have another place opening over at, under, hopefully, just gonna leave that there. But we want people to visit all of our other, shops and eateries and stuff like that as well. So are we good on Wednesday? Any questions? Anything you guys wanna add?
Possibly after I digest.
Okay, yes,
have one
yes,
question.
yes.
I just have one question about Wednesday, so I can understand it.
Yeah.
So basically, on Wednesday, from 5 to 9, it just be performances on both stages, on the stage. Right here, main stage depot with named groups to perform, downtown singing area to host gospel groups and choirs.
Yes.
So you're not gonna have anything like all the churches coming together to a sit down.
For service.
Like a
I don't think
service.
that's what where we were going with that. I mean, that doesn't mean that it doesn't have to be. I mean, I don't know.
I think it's a way to celebrate all of our churches,
Yeah,
but in a way that gives them two options of entertainment to go see or listen to. They can go down and visit the other churches,
Yep.
the amusement ride. So I don't know that there's a way to have everybody together
At one time.
yeah.
But I think it offers more of a festival atmosphere for this type of
We could all get together and do, like an interfaith prayer or something.
Yeah, before
Something
the-
to start it
yeah,
off or
yes,
to
yes.
try to bring everybody to the
That's pretty
stage.
cool.
Uh-huh.
I do like that. It
And
is
then
faith
have a few
prayer.
different, if you have, especially if you have different, faith,
Yes,
have
yes,
them come up and do.
possibly a church, but one particular church to sort of open up the service.
Yeah.
With a prayer, a scripture and a prayer.
I
So
do like
everybody
that,
can
yeah.
be at the same point and then
Do your thing.
start it.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
And then I know we were talking about Sela. Is that how you pronounce it? We're talking about Sela, having Sela come for that evening to perform on main stage.
Who's CeeLo?
Sela is a
CeeLo Green? I'm just.
oh, was it main stage or Rudy? Main stage. They
Okay.
were at the Rudy this year.
Oh.
It is a Christian.
Christian rock band?
and I've asked for other suggestions.
Okay, yeah,
so that-
yes. I obviously, my shop is right there. It was packed.
Well, then why don't we try to get him to play at the Rudy that night?
Well, we were talking just bringing them to main stage so that
Okay.
it was just part of like the entertainment because now we do have
Is
the
he kinda
carnival
like
on that side.
Country Christian?
Wasn't it more? I
Yeah, but,
thought it's a group.
and then that way, if you have it on the main stage, everybody will be
Go
able to
there,
hear
yes,
it.
I
There was
agree.
another guy.
Cause everybody not,
There was another
May not
guy
like
that is
That's
a.
right. That's what I'm worried about.
He's a gospel.
Yeah.
There was another one, but this is a. Hold on.
and we would like,
They're on a regular
What is it?
said that they,
How do you
Sounds
spell it?
SELAH.
Oh, that's why I didn't get anything.
SELL.
SELAH.
There we go. And it was packed this year. I mean, I'm curious what numbers if Jeff shares, but the streets were packed for that.
and we wanna make sure when we have our open ceremonies for Wednesday, we wanna make sure it's a pastor at one of the local churches.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. All right.
Hope for good weather.
I know. Seriously. We looked at the schedule for the Rudy and they have nothing planned that week. So we were talking about if it was inclement weather where we could bring some of these things inside over at the Rudy.
Or use,
Yeah.
that's a possibility that night as well.
Yeah.
We're not even gonna talk about that right now.
No,
That's just overwhelming.
we're
Not gonna think
We're
about
gonna
that.
All right. Thursday. Thriller Thursday.
We
Fall
can't-
themed.
You can't have Who's Bad if it's Thriller Thursday. It should be called Who's Bad Thursday. It has to be Thriller. I'm just going to be out there with it.
All right.
I do
so,
like Who's Bad, don't get me wrong.
well, okay. So Who's Bad performing at the main stage.
Okay.
We're gonna have a downtown staging area. We'll have food trucks, obviously downtown with chairs and tables and stuff. But now we're talking about different things. If you guys look at the map too, obviously the map has everything listed so you guys can see it visually. We're talking about having, because it's fall themed, a farmer's market, like a traditional farmer's market. Something that we could possibly get Miss Tammy and Kim Fry to organize that. I think it'd be a great way to, obviously we're talking about all things fall for this Thursday night. So we're talking about pumpkin painting, different fall themed activities for kids downtown. So I think the farmer's market would go in well with that. And then obviously we have Michael Jackson performers and stuff like that over at the main stage. Obviously the carnival is going on. We have the trackless train rides bringing people to and from. It is going to be the second night of the pickleball tournament. We were talking about having a magician that evening, a wine and beer garden possibly at the depot, and then obviously the caboose is open. What are your thoughts?
I like it.
Yeah.
Let's get somebody to set up a pumpkin patch, and that way that ties into the farmer's market,
Yep.
and then they could do a little pumpkin painting.
Yeah,
They would be great.
yeah,
Ashland Meadows.
yep.
So I think we've got some wonderful groups, surrounding groups that
Can we call it like fall into Selma Thursday, or are we gonna go with Thrilla? It just seems like if it's all this fall theme,
It seems like we should have the flash mob come out again.
Right,
what it
right,
is.
right.
that's what it is, right? If we're doing Thrilla.
Yeah.
Oh, is it just the Michael Jackson band?
That was where the Thriller came from.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I thought they were doing the flash mob. Who's bad? I'm like, they gotta do the flash mob.
Oh,
Thrilla?
no,
I
no.
got
The
you.
band,
I
the
got you.
band
Okay.
who's bad.
Okay.
Yes.
Heard.
The Michael Jackson impersonators, or
Yeah,
the,
so that's
yeah.
where you're getting the
Yes.
thriller.
But I will
Exactly,
say, Thrilla
exactly.
reminds me of like, it's getting into Halloween. It's
Yeah.
almost like a,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
I
fine.
mean, it would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It would be cool though to see if they wanted to do the flash mob
they
again.
really need to.
The
Yeah.
Ron will do it. He look savage.
he looks so good. He
Killed
looks
me.
so good.
Loved it.
Okay, activate Selma flash mob.
Yes.
All right,
Through the street while the Michael Jackson
That'd be
band.
great.
right? How
And
cool.
we're doing it this year.
Okay.
We're going to practice, all of us.
All right, are we good on Thursday? We'll scoot over.
Yeah,
All right, let's go to Friday. Friday, we're very excited about Friday too. First on scene Friday. So as you guys know, we're trying to piggyback our Friday night fire department barbecue cook-off. This is where everything is kind of stemming from. Obviously, we have the rides over at the depot, the main stage going on. We have a downtown staging area for local performers and entertainers. We're gonna do our food trucks downtown and at the depot, so we're gonna spread out some love. We have the train show going on at the Civic Center and the Harrison Center with shuttle rides. We were talking about, talking to Jay Katz about that. Public safety and military vehicles we're gonna have set up to tie in, obviously, with the Friday night barbecue cook-off. We're gonna do a discount for first responders and military. We're talking about the wine and beer garden again and the caboose being open, but we're really focusing on our first responders, fire, police, and military that night. So anything that we can do to bring people downtown to showcase that, I think, maybe we could do some sort of like a, highlighting important people in our community that are, yes, first responders. I think that'd be a great, like, personal thing to do.
People can nominate, like you say, to get people interested,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I think, yeah,
Tell-
it's a
tell us the
great,
story
yep,
about your loved
community
one and what they do.
nominations.
Yeah.
Yes, community nominations, great idea. And then we also were talking about, through Raglan and other production companies, they have, fire themed things. So they have like a massive kid slide. This thing is huge and it's a massive fire truck. They have a fire truck that little kids can ride on, which we thought would be super cool around that whole thing. So we're looking at different things like that, which obviously, when we're going through our budget in a little bit, those things are not on there yet. So maybe for the kiddie ride, but okay.
Could,
So what do you guys think? Yes.
could you do something for people who are retired from Selma, fire, public safety?
Mhm.
That would be, special guest, something we could organize around.
I'm sure we could, yeah.
Yep.
Special retiree.
That's a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah, let them have a
Honors.
get together, a reunion,
Yeah.
or maybe a dinner at the firehouse or something,
That's a great idea.
for them.
We could provide a dinner for,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
that reminds me, are we not gonna do a commemorative, cast plate like down, by the caboose? It has, what is it, the first annual?
Oh, we should do a
We
dedication
gotta do a
of
50,
something
yeah, we
for the
need to do
50th over
a
there.
50th somewhere somehow,
That's a
whether it
great
be
idea.
we can hang it in the depot, we can put it back on the pedestal like it is at the caboose now.
I'm guessing
And
we
so-
probably do that on Saturday.
Yes.
And if you
because
look at
it's
that,
celebrate Saturday.
if you look at the one now, it's got all the, I think it's like the 5th year, I think. Well, I'd like to invite all those Railroad Day committee members
Right,
back.
right.
The ones that are all listed. I'll take a picture
Okay.
and I'll send it to you guys when I walk the dogs. But we need to have something commemorative, I think.
I
So we
agree.
need to go ahead and get in the works of what we want and get it in the production. I don't know what budget for that. I just think we have to
We
have
just
something.
add it to the budget and we go from there. All right, cool. All right, we good with Friday? All right, Saturday. So Saturday, we're calling it Celebrate in Selma Saturday. Same thing, we're gonna have our rides over at the depot, main stage going on. To piggyback on the main stage, Nikki and I were talking about the amount of money that we spend on performances and these bands. I don't know about you guys last year. I was only able to break away for a short amount of time. And when we did our walk down, and obviously main stage was on this side last year, there was not a lot of people that were down there. It was blistering hot, as it is every year. And there we were talking about, are we spending our money in the best place with these bands in the baking sun of the day on a Saturday? So we're spending $6,000 for a band to play for an hour and a half, and we're getting very little people that are standing
Very
outside
little.
watching.
I mean, because I look out the window
It-
and it's very
Yes,
little.
It's a lot of our money is being put into something that our visitors are not necessarily thoroughly enjoying because it's just hot. That's the reality of it. So we were talking about different things throughout the day on Saturday where maybe it isn't a band or something that's playing at main stage. It is just music that's playing because it is so hot, and we are able to take that money and put it into something else instead of having band playing. But for as we start to get later in the day, and because Saturday is a 12 to 6 event, what that looks like is someone's going to be baking on Sunday, regardless, because it is such a short day. So we were talking about possibly, it's hot. It is hot, girl. So we were talking about possibly doing some sort of sunshade, a massive sunshade that we can put up over at the depot. That would make it so that way the band, obviously, they're going to be underneath their little the stage, but for people, concert goers, we'll call them, that can be in some sort of shade. So yes, it's hot, but they're not necessarily literally cooking in the sun, which would then make it so that way people can actually enjoy what we're spending all that money on.
And the wine and beer garden will be undercover.
It has to be, yeah.
I have a tent figured in.
People are gonna be hot as heck and just blasted, if not, yeah, yeah. But I think we need to do some sort of sunshade over there. So we're gonna go over
It's
and
budget
look
for
and
that,
see.
but we can also sort of, I mean, wait and see. I guess you really can't wait and see because it could be
Yeah,
blistering hot.
exactly.
Or it could be cold.
Exactly.
I mean, that's
But
really
it's
the
something
reality
that
of
we can
Northern
use going forward, especially if we're gonna be doing
yes,
this.
The town would buy it.
Exactly. I think it would be a good, and
I
it's
think it's a
easy,
great
easy
investment.
setup,
Yeah.
easy.
Is the parade gonna start later this year?
We were talking about the parade being pushed back an hour, right? Is that what we were?
Or in the afternoon, that's
Yes.
something that I think the committee needs to discuss.
Mm.
But the facts are that, the numbers that we got it circulates around the parade time,
Mhm.
before and after. So we lost a significant amount of those folks the later in the afternoon than it got.
Mhm.
So, and you gotta think, if they regularly down the kids out, stuff like that,
They gotta take them home.
yeah, they can't stay
Right.
all day and night. So I have not, this has not been a town discussion. It's, whatever committee, can discuss and decide and then discuss that. at some point.
So I guess my personal concern is that council isn't going to be super keen on this parade happening later, because the later we get, naturally the more people are coming in general, which we have to look at it from our public safety standpoint too. We need to be able to funnel this amount of people. That's more people that are on Anderson, on our side streets, on 301, and containing that traffic for a parade, it becomes a larger to-do by pushing that back further on a Saturday. So if we were to keep it at its original time, what do we do to
Which
keep
is
people?
10:30?
Yeah,
I
10?
say we push
10?
it back, but that's just me.
If we were able to push it back by an hour or so, but I
11.
don't know if they're gonna really be pushing it back to the afternoon.
I have a question.
Yeah,
And the question is, what is the reasoning for pushing it back?
to keep people here, because we have the parade in the morning, and then people are here for a couple hours, and then we have a huge dead space on a Saturday.
So that dead space between what time?
I mean, it's like right after lunch typically.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
It has been at 10:30.
10:30. Right after lunch is typically, I want to, maybe like 2 o'clock is when it starts to get
What?
like slower.
Slower, yes. It was, approximately the 10 to 2 hour was the busiest.
10 to
But
2.
we were still busier. We carried it a little later last year, but it does start to die off. So the point is, do you spend the money for the entertainment for the later hours? But then you're kind of juggling at those people from the morning are still going to remain or want to come back or, that kind of thing. So, how do we change the hours a little bit, for the whole festival day so that it puts a little bit more within a shorter time? This is all committee discussion.
I think part of this, of what we're talking about with a longer day, is that we have a adult carnival this year, where last year we had kiddie rides. So bringing in older people for the carnival is obviously going to bring in more people for it, and at a later time as well. So if we were to either keep the parade at 10:30 or move it to possibly 11, I don't know if 11:30, anything past that, now we're getting into like lunchtime and things like that.
That's right.
I mean,
and
I don't know of any
day.
parade that happens that late
No.
in general. But so we have our parade, and then we were talking about, we pay for a performance that typically was starting around noon. But there's people that are still so busy from the other things that are happening, like the parade is ending and like people are kind of just like getting acclimated and into the festival. We're not really sure that the necessarily the best bang for your buck
I agree.
by paying for someone $6,000.
At noon.
Yes,
I would
exactly.
like to make a suggestion.
Yeah.
And I suggest that we keep the parade at the same time, but we focus on the band not playing during that time when it's slow.
Yeah.
Because it's hot.
It
And
is.
people are, well, this is
Yep.
what my family has done for years and years and years. What we would do, we would come to the parade, bring the kids to the parade, then we'll have lunch, we will go home a couple of hours and come back
Mhm.
in the afternoon around 2:30, 3 o'clock. We will come back and stay the rest of the evening. So I think a lot of people do that. They leave and to be honest, to relieve yourselves and to get refreshed because you were here that morning.
Yep.
So typically, it's going to be a down time in the middle of the day. And I agree with you 100% that we use those funds somewhere else
Yeah.
instead of paying that band
Yep.
all that money.
We were talking about
during the
going
day.
big with our nighttime entertainment on
Yes,
Saturday. So we save our money from having all of these
Yes.
awkward times, and we
Yes.
have a huge, massive band on Saturday night.
That's
that
the
is
way to do
drawing
it.
I
people.
totally agree with that.
Yes.
I sat and watched all that money, people, nobody was watching the band.
They weren't.
It wasn't set up right, though. You had the community, you had,
Yeah.
people weren't encouraged to go down,
Yes,
but it was sad to watch the bands play for nobody.
exactly,
And
exactly.
then I knew how much we were paying for it, so I almost cried.
Exactly, exactly.
And I have
exactly.
one
Yeah.
more suggestion, and that's this as far as the parade goes. We as people, we tend to gravitate to things that's normal. And when there's a change, it takes us a while to adapt.
Yeah.
So if we go and change the parade to 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, it'll be out of the norm.
Yeah.
So we keep it around the same time, even the 10:30
And it's gonna
time
get
is good.
hotter.
Yes,
Like we're
it's gonna
talking
get
about
hotter.
the heat. The heat's a
Correct.
concern by
So
pushing
I
it
think
back.
the 10:30 time for the
Yep.
parade is normal, should
Yeah.
stay. And then we focus on the midday saving money.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so
the money
that
for the
classic
business.
car tractor show, that's gonna draw a lot of people.
It is. We are really excited about this. So if you look on the placement of where everybody is on the map itself, so let's start. So we're gonna do the community stage on the Rudy end, like over here on my end. Then we're talking about Kid Zone right there on Waddell with some food trucks. Now we are still going back and forth on food trucks necessarily. Do we separate food in general? Okay, so we were talking about having lots of food, right, as a huge draw, kind of like the state fair does. Do we separate our food entirely, or do we do like a dessert zone where it's desserts and things, and then our regular traditional food? But a lot of food trucks have both, so sometimes it's difficult to separate that in general. So just a thought for you guys to put out there. Then we're talking about the car and tractor show to be all down South Rayford and North Rayford. And we were talking about possibly doing, they just did a split show together in Princeton, I believe it was, the car show and tractors, so two different meets got together. We were talking about possibly doing cars on one side, tractors on the other, so it's just like kind of like intermingling type of thing.
Sounds good.
And then we have our vendor setup. So we were talking about nonprofits, as you see, rounding the corner, that's by Trackside. And then we have different vendors, that are going all the way up Webb, and then over Railroad, over to, the rest of the food trucks that brings you into the carnival and the main stage. So what we were, with this layout, we're trying to looking at like a circle, so people can, go down one route and then come up another, so that way they're seeing the entire thing. Now, the only thing that's off of this are the train shows, but the people that are coming for the train shows, they're going to go to the train shows. We were talking about a larger train show indoor activity over at Harrison Center, and then same thing, we would have shuttles that would be running every so often, however we determine, hopefully with JCATS, bringing them back downtown, to a
See, I'd
certain
rather
dropping
use
point.
the smaller buildings in town if we have to expand the railroad. This right here would be perfect room right here to have and
It would.
I hesitate to, I doubt people are gonna get on JCATS. I mean, real trained people will.
Yeah.
I think Harrison Center is gonna be a stretch if we really wanna keep it downtown. Can't we?
The marketing for it would have to be extensive
Yeah.
to make sure that people are aware of what's going on at Harrison, and that there is a shuttle at a predetermined location at a predetermined time.
Yeah, I feel like
It's a
that's gonna
lot.
be tough.
It
I
is.
think that's gonna be really tough. And if we're saving the money on the music, let's try to,
But we are gonna have the
Take it
pickleball playoffs
was
going
my
on over there as well.
You already have an event going on.
Yeah.
over there.
Get to Harrison is to advertise parking.
Yes.
oh, so you're using it for multiple. I
Yeah,
gotcha. Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's fine. I'm just,
Yeah.
I think it's just gonna be tough.
Don't can't find people, and if they know that they can park it,
Good.
Get a show.
right in.
I think this-
It would take some parking.
And we have a lot of money set aside in the budget this year for marketing, because we need to hit marketing this year from a different standpoints than we ever have, to just blow this out of the water. But that comes back to, it's the little things when you're at a festival of like the communication of how do I get where, that I don't know that we necessarily had the best of years previous. But especially with us doing it so long this year, there has to be lots of signage that is going to direct people, that we have, hey, more food trucks over
Street
here.
performers,
hey,
they're
more.
making you
Exactly.
want to walk that
Exactly,
way.
exactly.
I just think that if we really have that many people with the trains, I would prefer that we look downtown and see if we have places to set up
Yeah,
versus taking the big show over there, because I
Yeah.
just feel like it's too too
Yeah.
far.
I mean, we can definitely look
And
into
I
more
definitely
places
wouldn't
for
want
sure.
the train show here not to be here, because everybody knows it's there.
Oh, no,
so-
we're still gonna have it here.
Okay,
It's
you're
just gonna
just
be
gonna
another
overflow.
overflow over there.
For
And,
overflow, I would like to try to keep it in town if we could.
okay, so we'll look into other places that we can hold. Now our space over at Harrison, I've never been to Harrison. How big is it?
Jim,
Okay. Okay, so I guess it
It's
would
very
really,
nice.
the people that are doing the train thing, they would pretty much determine how much space they need by how many people they can get to come. So then I guess that would determine,
So, 2 years ago, they were using Legion.
okay, yeah,
So it was definitely spread out. They used areas in that direction. So that's kind of why it filtered back to over here. But they said that they can get more groups and they can build larger spaces. So, especially for the
yeah,
Well, I really think we should try it at Harrison,
Mm-hmm.
because we really do need to showcase those buildings too. And the pickleball is there,
Yep.
like you said, it's there. And not only that, the community may be able to walk to the train, to that particular portion
Mm-hmm.
on their way to the,
oh, that's
The
a really good
festival
idea. If-
downtown.
Or if they don't even want to go to the festival, they could just walk from the
they can
community.
walk from the
Mm-hmm.
community to the trains, to that
Yep.
display.
yeah,
And so it'd be good for that
Yeah.
community
Yeah.
as well.
yeah, agreed.
So you're gonna wait and
And you can
see
try
how
it
many
and see
people we
this
get?
time.
Some people have come from
Mm-hmm.
shows because people reach out from states.
Awesome.
Yeah, that really is great.
If we have it marketed as to the train shows are at these addresses,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm sure that
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And the next thing about that, they have more parking spaces. It's one of the difficult
Yep.
find parking
Yeah.
downtown.
we do need to figure out better
There,
parking, yeah.
you have
Yep.
adequate parking
Yep.
space for the people that's coming out of state or out of
Well,
town.
let's use the
Well,
Harrison Center for a shuttle, so then that way if they're parking
that's
there,
where, yeah, the
Yeah.
oh, so that's
Yep.
even better, so
Yep.
then you're already there. Oh, yeah, okay.
All right, so like we're talking about, so we have the food trucks, as you guys can see on the map. Like just same as before, lots of tables and chairs, umbrellas so people can rest, and keep going. We're hoping that if people can rest and sit, that they're gonna stay longer. Shuttle rides. So we're talking about having kid figures and mascots. different kid-related, like Bluey and different things like that, like just cool things to get that appeal to everyone in the family, that is just immersive for people of all
So
ages.
my daughter-in-law's sister has a business and they do all princesses. And I know, and they're from
Yes.
Selma, but she lives in Wilmington. I know I could have her come.
Yes,
And I'd like to come up with this,
yes,
yeah.
yep,
So
Yes.
I'll submit that, but I also think that she does all the princesses, but we need to develop a railroad princess outfit. So one of her,
I love it.
I'll talk to her. She could probably put it together.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's such a great idea. I love it. All right. The wine and beer garden. Like we said, we were talking about the car and tractor show, the final pickleball tournament / playoffs. We're also talking about doing fireworks on Saturday night. Different displays from businesses that want to come in and set up. And then we were talking about doing the past queens on Tuesday night. They get to do their thing, but we were also talking about giving them a float on Saturday. We thought that would be really cool. In different contests and activities. So are we gonna talk about the agriculture thing, or are we gonna hold off? Okay, sounds good. So we can talk about activities and contests and stuff. So we were talking about different things, like how you have at State Fair, where there's like the biggest and the baddest of whatever contest. We need to figure out what that is for us. Can we talk about the melon? Okay, so Selma has had
The
it is
baby
called-
melon.
Yes,
Tomato,
the
baby,
tomato
and
melon
better
and better baby fair.
Yeah.
It is
So-
legendary.
Yes. So, Nikki has reached out, or is reaching out to the gentleman at the Heritage Center, and we're gonna get all the information on what it was, how it was judged, all that good
So
stuff,
cute.
and we want to hopefully bring back the tomato melon and better baby.
Yeah.
for-
Absolutely.
We
We
think
do
it'd
that
be
on
so
Saturday though?
appropriate.
That seems like a lot. Should we do that Sunday?
Yeah.
I mean, we just figured that there was the most amount of people are going to
Here.
be here on Saturday.
Okay.
Right.
And we have enough space, especially with us branching out this year, and we have our big circle and everything going down Railroad. We feel like we have the space to do it. And Saturday, we have that downtime. If we could fill that downtime with cool stuff,
Yeah.
like the tomato melon and better baby fair, or I was looking up yesterday things that we're known for in North Carolina. Obviously, like sweet potato. So what about like a sweet potato pie contest or
Or
something?
eating contest. Yeah, like some kind of eating contest.
Yeah.
People are into that.
They are
Like little,
What is
look,
it?
you do little,
Joey, what's
little
his name?
pies.
No.
Oh, stop it.
The hot dog
He
eating
got kicked out because he did vegan dogs.
Yes, yes.
But something, that's a good idea, little sweet potato pies, although nobody
Yes,
likes little sweet
exactly.
potato pies.
So I thought it would be cool because then we'd be able to
Pecan pies.
incorporate businesses and bakeries that are North Carolina. And I just think it'd be a cool way to get people together to have a contest of some sort, because then they're bringing people that they have in their communities or in their bakeries or whatever, and they get to do their thing.
And we can also see if, Michael Staples doing
An ice cream showdown.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
a great
That'd be
time to
good,
do
too.
it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
100%. Okay. The past queens, the contest and activities. So if there's any other contests or activities that you guys are thinking of, write it down and send it over so that way we
I'm
can.
still thinking about some group, adult games that are, railroad driven, so I'm just
Yeah.
starting to,
Yeah, yeah.
something to keep people downtown,
Yes.
get them interactive.
All right, Sunday. We're talking at Shaggin' on Sunday. So I know we have talked in the past about beach music, right? So we are going to try to put that on one day instead of having it be like the highlight of everything. That's what Sunday is going to be. So obviously we still have the carnival over at the depot. We're talking about the TAMs on the main stage. Downtown, local performers and entertainers at the stage downtown. It's going to be in the front of Town Hall, and it's our typical, we've had in the past, I don't know the correct verbiage for this. The members of the Latino community come and they do their, their heritage type things that they do.
We've had that, and we've had, gospel.
Yes. So we were talking about doing alternating, correct? Between two downtown. We're talking about possibly having one there, one over here, which would connect it, which would bring everybody more in the going down Railroad to South Rayford. We would have one more stage right there, and then the other stage in front of Town Hall. So we could have the same our gospel that we had last year, that just I know was a big draw. And then we still get to have our dancers and our performers in the front of Town Hall, which is great because then they have the entire street to do their thing. I think it's a good area for them to be able to do what they do
I
best.
think it complements well with the car tractor show as well.
Yes,
The beef
yes,
racing.
yes, 100%, 100%.
Oh, we're doing the tractor show that day too?
It's 2 days,
Okay.
correct?
Awesome.
Yes.
They are hoping that they would be able to do both days, so we're working to see what kind of interest they would have.
And I know for like, I don't know if all of you were here for when we had the car show. Car show was a huge draw. It was
was.
massive.
Yeah.
And they were, the people that came, that were coming for it, these people were pleasures. Like, they were just pleasures to be around. They were great people. It was organized. They were eager, and they loved being here in Selma. They came back the next day, on Sunday. The gentleman that, one of the organizers from it, he came and he said it was just it was really great, and that they were so excited to come back. So it was really good that they had a great first time here in Selma.
Is
So-
this what we want to do, the commemorative thing, or when do we could do that Saturday? We
I
gotta
think
do some kind
Saturday,
of
because
plaque.
we have so many people.
Okay, so just add that on just to make sure we
Yep,
don't
yep,
forget
I
it.
have that on my
Okay.
notes, yep. All right, so we're talking about the same thing as on Saturday. We have our food trucks downtown, our tables and chairs for rest spaces. We have our vendor market set up. And if you look on your map itself, you can see we have our main stage with our rides. We have our food trucks going down, and then we hook into our vendors. We have our kids zone, which is going to be like our kids blow ups, kids activities, stuff like that. Then we have our car and tractor show on South and North Rayford. Same thing, we'll have our shuttle rides going back and forth. What else do we have? We have different contests and activities. We need to touch base on what those are going to be for Sunday, but we're really excited because we were talking about it's Sunday, and like Sundays are kind of like a flea market or like a yard sale day. How about if we did an antique market, railroad antique market on that day? So where you see the vendors, those are would be actual antique vendors that would be set up all the way down Railroad Street. We obviously have a rich history in antiques, and we think it'd be really cool for people to set up. We're talking authentic antiques. We're not talking flea market setup. We're talking very specific. And we also kind of thought it'd be cool if we could possibly get a antique appraiser out as like a draw, like an antique
Oh, that'd be so fun.
I think it'd be so cool. I think it would bring lots of different
How
people.
do you think about that? You gotta put something in
Look,
there.
you got a smile. You
Oh,
got
I
a smile.
love that. We can make our own.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really cool. And
That'd be really-
obviously,
really cute.
we put it out to our stores that have antiques for them to come and set up. We know it's a huge. I know we were talking about it. Thanks for the invite. It is a lot of work to set up your antique thing. Like, it is a ton. But for anybody, any of our businesses downtown that would like to set up their booth or whatever, they could definitely set up on Railroad Street as well. But I think it's a great way. Same thing. We're talking about railroad days and our rich history, and we're in the town of Selma, and obviously we have such a history with antiques as well. So to capitalize on that, we think it'd be really cool to bring people in. Yeah, and I
I
think
love
that
the appraiser.
right.
People would watch that all day.
I watched it all the time with my grandma.
I'm obsessed. I swear, I
Yes.
think that would be really
Yes.
fun. We're talking about interactive stuff.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
You can see
exactly.
somebody set up and.
Exactly. All right. So then to swing this all the way back around. Okay. So like we said, I know all of us are hot on these sideshow performers. So we need to figure out what days, costs. I think our best bang for our buck would probably be separate performers for different days, not having the same performer
Oh, yeah.
on multiple days. And how outside the box are we thinking with these performers? You know, we have fire jugglers, sword swallowers. We have I've saw like the woman that's like
The silks, I
mirrored.
saw the silk, I got a quote back from somebody that does the silk, dancing, I just can't figure out where to hang her.
Okay. Like she's like from a.
Yeah, I was thinking from the big building, but we'll have to see. Wait, we could do tightrope walker across Rayford Street.
Just getting gnarly, but yes. Okay. So we need to figure out. We also need to figure out what things can be done at night as opposed to day.
Yeah, we need some
Um,
fire.
And I'm thinking probably for like the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, possibly Thursday, because we're only 5 to 9. Probably would be a max of probably 2 performers. That would be, unless they're affordable.
Well, let's look
because
at
some of
our
these are
budget,
very
since
expensive.
we're gonna drop these expensive bands
Yes,
during the day.
possible, very, very much.
I really do think that money should go to,
At the
Yep.
We talked about Thursday, Sunday mainly.
Yes.
With those, since the other 2 nights will be kind of specified towards, some other things.
Mhm.
So, if, the links are.
Yep.
Friday night.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
But having these things scheduled, so.
Oh,
people
yeah,
know
of course.
where
Yep,
they're happening
yep.
and what time they're
Yep.
happening.
So we just need to get back quotes on these things. So now that you guys, we have times locked in, you know what times and days we're doing things. So if we can go from there, book or get our quotes for the acts that are appropriate for that day, for the things that we're doing for that day. And then we can circle back in our next January meeting for those.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I think on the sheet I saw, where you see these people, they draw you on the spot.
Yes, yes. We
Caricatures.
Yeah.
Caricatures, yep. And then
Yeah.
we were also talking about progress painters before.
I love that.
Where we
Yeah,
have
need to one of those
artists set up
Saturday.
somewhere, yeah, and we get to see the full,
Let's get William to do it.
yeah. Yeah, that'd be
Maybe he
cool.
would do it.
Yep, I'm sure we could have a
It
couple of them.
supports his business as well.
Exactly, exactly, yep.
Let's get
So
back,
you can
I
walk up
know
to
we
him and
gotta
he can draw
get,
you, and
wrap
then
this
you can
up.
Yeah, yeah.
I will send you an email. I want to be on the subcommittee of amusement and train.
Yep,
I know nobody wants to be on fundraising, so let's sponsorships, that's gonna have to be divided, because nobody.
is, it
Not
is,
one
yeah.
person here is gonna say they wanna do it.
nope,
I tried last year, really hard, by the way, didn't to no avail, but, you know, we're gonna all have to split that up.
nothing
Let's
makes me more uncomfortable than asking for money. Nothing.
Just like everybody here at this
Oh,
table. So
hey.
guess what? We're all gonna
Oh.
ask for money.
Makes me so uncomfortable.
So, I mean, I just,
Who did that job last year?
we all tried.
We need to get James Lassiter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Find somebody.
Yes, James, Mr. Lassiter, Ron Mr. and Dr. Hamilton, they were all pretty big in helping us get
Mhm.
some
Sponsorships.
So that, I mean, that is a possibility to utilize, some of our community members
Yeah.
to help that, make those connections. And also, if you guys make some connections, but you're like, hey, here's Nancy's part.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't wanna
like,
close the deal,
Yeah.
You can
right?
put, you can put me in contact with them somehow. I'll be happy to have those conversations, to be able to explain what the benefits.
I definitely think we should bring some past members like James and our
Yeah.
community
Mhm.
members. I mean, Ron Hester knows
People that
everybody, so
already done it.
let's
Yeah.
try to
Yeah.
just ask our heavy,
Yes.
active at Selma. I will be happy to go to a meeting and ask them to help us gear up for some sponsorships. Not ask them because they probably don't want to spend the money right now, but ask them to get connections.
Yeah.
People that can do.
And it's important for us to get in front of them first of the year. Because
Yeah, yep. We were talking too about hitting up like Target and stuff like that ahead of time since they're gonna be coming in. Is it the end of next year or the beginning of 26? The
Just
end
hit
of
everybody up over at Eastfield.
Target? The Target, is it end of 25 or beginning of 26
She's
that they're
saying
coming?
Target.
Thank you, sir.
I'm just trying to help.
Thank you for translating.
Sure, fine. I'm sure you did, Rhode Island.
they're local.
Yeah.
Some of their, I know Academy uses Victor for their grassroots marketing. So it's like contacting
Yeah,
them. So I've reached out to see if we can have the, if I can get those contacts and get them. So,
cool,
see if I can get that.
awesome.
I will say, the mayor actually brought up something to help guide some of our contests, and, these have been a discussion, but I know with the mascot, the first one is the mascot race.
Cute.
Some remember this mascot race. This one could possibly be a better option for Sunday if you're wanting to bring in some of your college mascots, only because of football, or not,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's football.
they had, because we reached out last year and some of the college mascots, they were like, well, we'd love to come, but it's midday. We don't know what our schedule will be, that kind of thing. So, but we can also do local, and in Mount Olive Woods, they actually were getting in a new mascot uniform, so they didn't have it in time. So that's definitely something that we can look at, but I love the idea of the mascot race. I love the pictures.
So cute.
So that one, and then the spike driving contest, it looks like the last one that's on here is 2008. So
we did talk about that.
Yeah,
Yep, we talked
let's
about
bring
that
it back.
for one of our contests.
Made it,
There
Melody,
you
better, baby.
I think liability wise. they're not
Yeah, I was gonna say,
gonna
do we have a liability issue with the spike driving? That's the only thing I'd be,
that might be a-
that's probably why
Can
it
we
stopped in two
have a
thousand
sign
eight.
off though? Can you have a sign a release or something? And then I know we were talking about too, like a soapbox derby?
Derby?
Like a
Oh,
soapbox
yeah.
derby? Yeah,
Yes, make a train.
yes. So I
That
think
is
there's lots of
awesome
different
ideas.
cool contests that are kind of like throwbacks that really like become kind of like how we are in Selma. Like we're just this small town rich with so many cool things that we've had in our past. So I think to like dabble on those really cool things that we've done in before or things that we remember as kids, I think that that's what gets people to come back out. You know, we can go to any of these festivals and eat at a food truck and do all these other things, but these really cool things that we remember from our childhood and our past, those are like the core memories that we never forget. So I think this is a phenomenal place to start. Do you want to quickly review those budget numbers?
If you want to review those, I do know that, without having the specific
Yeah.
groups assigned to the specific days.
Yep.
This basically brings in what we discussed.
Yep.
As far as what the 7 days you just looked at.
Yep.
Incorporated.
Yep.
So, we need to bring a ballpark figure.
Yep.
To town management so that that can be discussed to see if we are near the mark, too far.
Yep.
Or.
Yep.
And then that way, as a committee, we can decide, okay, they said we're too far, we're gonna have to.
Yep.
Back some. So we really do need to get the ballpark figure.
Yep.
from them so that we can get their feedback on that.
Yep.
So if you'd like to take a look at that, I can try to go through and note like individual daily expenses, but then at the end, you'll see that like.
Well, we can do a bulk, let's just do our grand one right now, the one that we were talking about yesterday, just that way they have some of these numbers, and then we can review further. I mean, I don't know necessarily if we, like, the breakdown is super important. I think we need to talk about the larger number at scale, and then, is that okay? Okay, so our,
You took the table. Oh.
these are some big numbers, yeah. Where is that paper? Oh, she did pass it out. Okay, so so she's giving you the breakdown that you see here. So we have everything kind of categorized as well. So we're looking at around 25,000 for small carnival / games. So like the kiddie stuff, think about that type of stuff. 65,000 for the carnival reserve. Now, just so everybody understands what that is. That reserve is if it's not met. So this year, correct me if I'm wrong, it was 12,000.
Where are you getting these numbers?
In the very back of
We made a few changes.
the last page. I'm sorry, I missed that last meeting. How did we do? Sorry to bring that back, but how did we do in the carnival?
It was 12,000, right?
The little over 11.
And we made that. It was a break even, correct?
No, it was a 20,000 reserve. So we.
Oh, I did not.
Portion,
Okay.
we did bring in almost half.
Okay.
About, a little over half.
Which is not good. It was a little over 1,000, 11,000 you said?
We paid out.
Oh, wow.
And there are some additional fees when it comes to their inspections and labor.
Okay, so amusement reserve is 75,000? That's what we're looking at now?
I have put a little buffer on that. We're
Yeah.
waiting to get those final numbers from the.
Okay.
Which one are you looking at?
Last page, bottom, amusement reserve.
No, which carnival company? I was just gonna,
Oh,
It is a combination of with some, I don't want to speak too forward to say who is providing, but some of the larger.
we were looking at entertainment. I know the number that we were talking about yesterday was roughly 65,000. Now, obviously that's changing, given us reducing the amount of the entertainment for those hot periods, that we're gonna reallocate that someplace else. Sound production, if this has changed, let me know, Nikki, but we were talking about 15,000 for sound production. And then miscellaneous marketing, we were looking at around 26,000. And now that is for that marketing, right? That's gonna include our signage, actual marketing.
Shirts and everything.
Yes,
merchandise and
yep,
everything.
everything under that 26,000.
But, and those are very broad numbers.
Yes, yep.
The spreadsheet that we handed out dives
Yeah. So this is good information for you guys to take back and to look over, review. And then obviously keep in mind, we are gonna make adjustments to the, to music and stuff like that. Is there anything else that you guys want to review right now? Or are we good until,
What are meeting, what's the meeting schedule? What's happening with that?
so we need to bring before council that we're gonna go to monthly, right? So we need to make a motion to, bring before council. Yep. Okay. Okay.
Feel about possibly, since the numbers here, and this is just me asking the committee, since the numbers are here broken down per day, based on the 7-day plan that we all just discussed, even though you guys all have to like digest that a little bit.
Yep.
What if we were to take this and I have, like, speak with at least town management to see where we are with that?
No, I think that's important. Yeah.
To have that feedback when we come back in January.
Yep.
Of course.
Yep. Now, are you confident in this, buffer? With this number? This has a substantial enough buffer for,
It adjusted a little bit, I'm gonna feel more comfortable when I get the final numbers.
yeah.
So that's, where we're at with that. But that's also a reserve option as well, so, just know that that's, money that we may not owe for now. But we
Yeah.
have to be prepared to pay.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But same as before, like with this being an older draw of a carnival, it is really important that we market this as such, so that way we're not paying this freaking money out. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we'll do a motion to,
I
present,
think it would just be a consensus, I don't know
Okay.
if it needs to be.
just a consensus.
No,
Okay,
Yeah, because we're not doing
okay,
recommendation of.
okay. Are we all on board with this number then, presenting to present for budget?
I mean, I haven't looked at it, but
Yeah, just,
I trust
yeah.
you and Nikki, so, yeah.
Correct. Albert, Susan? Yeah, okay, yep,
It's based on the 7 days.
Yep.
The schedule, those content, those activities, those can all be adjusted,
Mhm.
but have an over. That we
Yep.
just to see if where we're at.
Mhm. Yeah, that is good.
And then once we gotta take a look, between now and any suggestions or changes,
Mhm.
and then I can let you know. Not necessarily ballpark, but a better actual figure.
Yeah.
With their feedback.
Yep. Sounds good. Next meeting, I'm being honest, I'm not available on the 9th, which is when I would have thought it would have been ideal. So is everyone available for the 16th?
Can we like set it like second Thursday or the third Thursday or whatever? Third, right? Second,
I think it's the 2nd.
I mean, does that work for everybody so we can sort of,
I wouldn't be able to make the 9th. I haven't, yeah, that's the 2nd. I mean, it doesn't have to be Thursday that week. I mean, just for the special meeting, if we wanted to move it, it doesn't have to be Thursday.
yeah, I mean, it's up to y'all. I'm just,
Yep.
okay.
Okay. Well, what about the 8th? If you guys good with the 8th, then we'll just do it the Wednesday before.
I'm okay with that.
Susan?
Okay.
I would have to be done by noon.
Oh, yeah. Tell
God,
please,
Susan.
Lord.
That just hurt. That hurt me bad.
January.
Yes, 9 a.m. Yep.
All
Albert,
right,
are you okay with that?
That's Wednesday.
Okay, so we're gonna
Yes.
do Wednesday, the 8th at 9 a.m.
Yep.
You'll text us all and
I
email
will,
us.
yes.
At least 2 days ahead of time, please.
Yeah, another reminder of it? Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
Then I'm good.
okay.
Just to, for the record, we are calling a special meeting for January 8th, 2025 at 9 a.m. to discuss, marketing materials in 2025 Railroad Days planning, and I'll go ahead and get an agenda and everything prepared to you guys
Perfect.
this week.
Thank you. Perfection, as always.
Yeah, 9 a.m.
I'm sorry?
There are two other items.
Yes, ma'am. No, you're good.
One is sponsorships. It's important to have that information. So, this is gonna look a little different than what, it did last year. The decision has been, made that to divide up athletics, parks and recreation, and events, to decipher who is sponsoring what, if that makes sense. Essentially, they're both gonna be called sponsorships, but up to a certain amount will go towards Parks and Rec, athletics, and parks, that program. And then the rest will go towards an annual event sponsorship. So anybody that is brought in as, 2,500, 5,000, or 10,000, would go directly towards the event sponsorship portion. Rotary Days Festival, but it actually makes them as the annual event sponsor throughout the year. So that is a little bit different than last year. We did have some smaller levels last year. We still would like to urge folks to sponsor at those levels if they'd like, to participate with our Parks and Rec program. But going forward, the annual event sponsors is what they're kind of want to stick with. So this is where I think that those conversations with big box stores that are coming would be.
You mean Jeff, Ron, and James? Having this conversation.
I wanted you to take a look at these, so that you can see the levels, and you can suggest any additional, benefits that can be added to those. We did remove one of the presenting sponsor benefits, because with it being the 50th Rotary Days, the grand marshal for the parade, we want to be creative and kind of do a good search for that to see who. We need to do that.
Sounds good.
So if you wanna take those and look at that, if we can confirm the benefits and the levels at the January 8th meeting, that would be great, because that would give us a chance to get that all out. And the next page is just a little bit of a talking point. We are proposing to have the same vendor fees for vendors and food trucks, nonprofit organizations, parade entries across all of our events, so it's the same. And all of our events look a little bit different, so what we're trying to do is determine whether it's a per day, per event, per hour charge. So I did give a little bit of a background as far as talking points, but any feedback on what our vendor fees have been and what they should be? I don't know if you guys have any suggestions on those, but this doesn't necessarily just affect Rotary Days event, it would affect all of them. Looking at it, I think a per hour or a half day, whole day charge would be most beneficial. The half day could be like 1 to 4 hour event, or 1 to 5 hour, and then a whole day could be a 5 to 10 hour charge for that. But your food trucks are a little bit different, because when they come to Rotary Days, they get a hookup for electric.
Yep.
In most cases, there may be times that they won't. So, but your food trucks will also have a little bit more business than your specialty.
Way more
vendors that
business,
are
yeah,
set up.
yep.
So I think that the fees for those definitely, this year it was 75 for the retail vendors, and then the food truck was $225 for the whole event. So it breaks it down to about $15 per hour for a food truck, and I believe it's about $5 per hour.
That's a good bang for your buck for a food truck, man.
Do you guys have any heartburn over what we did charge for those?
I think it's appealing. It gets people to want to be a part of it. When it's expensive, nobody wants to do it.
So if we're looking at All American, which is a shorter event, 1 day event, are we comfortable? Would you guys, if you were a vendor or a food truck, would you be comfortable with saying a per hour charge, so that it's comparable to what we charge for the rest of our events? That's kind of what we're looking at, but we're having conversations with Parks and Rec for those other events and programs like Soul Food Festival and that kind of thing.
I think it's important, like I said, to keep it affordable, because we want these people to come out, and, you know, food trucks and things like that, they are a draw for these events, and when they're not affordable, you know, people, so
I
I
do
think
know
it's good,
that
yeah.
the vendor fee was a lot more.
It was.
to
It was. Yep.
So that was, when you're a specialty vendor, and people have to be looking for that
Yep.
kind of thing. So that's kind of why we brought that down. So what I can do is have our vendor forms,
Yep.
everything can be approved by committee once you guys approve it for the next, for the
Yep.
January 8th meeting.
Yep.
That way we can get those out as soon as possible.
Perfect. I think that's great. Cool. I think this was a terrific meeting today, guys. lots of information. So put on your thinking caps and obviously come back with more ideas. I know that we'll link up, or us three, about prices on those things. Send it individually,
yeah,
not
that's
to
good,
all of
yeah.
us. Okay.
Do we have a Railroad Days email yet?
I have asked,
Yep.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Okay, great.
All right, sweet. Motion to adjourn.
Your motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second that.
Thank you, guys.